Hello and welcome to Tip Tuesday on NLF Live. So today I'm going to talk to you guys about what happens after sentencing. So, you go through an arraignment, you go through negotiations, and then you litigate the case a bit and you decide to take a deal, right? So you enter your plea, let's say this is a felony, and your case gets put over for sentencing. And during that time, what's going on, right? Well, if you're lucky, you'll be out of custody on a cruise waiver. What that means is so long as you stay out of trouble, you show up for your next court date, and you go and meet with probation, you're in compliance with the cruise waiver. You can be out of custody without issue. Well, what does it mean to meet with probation? Well, you go in for an interview and probation asks you all of these questions like, what types of crimes have you committed before? Where did you go to school? Where did you grow up? What's your family like? Are you working? And how do you feel about this crime? Whether or not you're remorseful about the situation, and just kind of getting an idea of where your mindset is at, where your likelihood of reoffending, or your likelihood of actually learning a lesson from what goes on. And they make this probation report with a recommendation in it, and it comes back. The defense attorney, the prosecution, we both have opportunities to draft a letter and send it to probation for consideration. Then we all come back to court and we review probation's recommendations, and the judges reviewed it as well. And from there we can either, if it's good for us, we can agree with probation's recommendations, or there may be some things that we want to strike, we want to take out because it's maybe not related to the offense, or we don't necessarily think it's necessary, or we can ask for a reduced version of what has been recommended and give our reasonings why. So that's typically what happens. Then the judge will actually impose the sentence, and then from that date, the actual sentence gets carried out. And once you're, let's say you were told to do some sort of in custody time, let's say it's 60 days, you either pick a surrender date, or you might be remanded into custody right then and there. It really just depends. Some people get credit for time served, meaning they don't even have to go back into custody again. They got credit for the time they did when they were very first arrested, and no additional time is due. And then once you're released from custody, your probation starts. And probation is where you're either informal or informal or formal probation. And informal probation means just stay out of trouble, obey all laws, be of good conduct, don't get caught up in anything new. Formal probation means you have to check in with your probation officer on a regular basis. You have to pay your probation fees. You might be subject to random things like which you wouldn't necessarily find on court or informal probation. So that's what happens after you enter your plea. There's a lot more nuances that go on in between there, but in general, you enter your plea, gets put over for sentencing, your sentence gets imposed, and then you start serving your sentence. So if you have any questions about what a plea is, what sentencing is, or what happens on probation, feel free to give us a call here at the Nieves Law Firm, and we're happy to help you. Talk to you later. Bye.